Okay, we're back. We had some technical difficulties. We've learned some interesting lessons about
glitch number 1.
videoing our podcast on a phone that only has so much storage.
Right.
Okay.
How to get it off your phone. Very complicated.
So back to goals and mindset.
Yes. So I do think, I said so. Hey Jeanette, we're back.
We're back. Part 2.
Part 2 of episode 3,
Yes.
mindset.
Oh, hold on. I'm going to hit the timer. Okay.
We're back.
We're back.
So all of that being said, I do think that a business plan is a good thing.
Absolutely.
I have gotten to a point in my business where consistency has become, I'm sort of on autopilot.
Right.
So that's when I switched to the year-end evaluation of everything.
Sure.
I do think that I should go back to writing things down. On a day-to-day basis, I have to write down everything.
Right.
Like I have daily to-do lists, I have to set up reminders and all of that. So it only makes sense that I should be writing down
Sure.
goals.
I write mine down.
So for accountability purposes and our podcast therapy,
Right. We've learned today.
I'm going to try to write down some hard goals.
Okay. I think writing down your goals also is a little bit tougher if you sort of feel like you're at a good place. Goal
Right.
setting a lot of times is when you're trying to move your business upwards or move
Right.
the needle in a different way. So if it's going fine, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's blasphemy, Katie.
Well, I mean, look, I think goals are good.
The culture says it's never good enough.
You have to have a business plan.
You have to have goals and higher goals. It's not okay to be happy where you are.
It's okay to be happy where you are.
But that's kind of where I'm at right now. At this stage of life, I'm kind of happy where I am. I want to maintain.
Okay.
So I'm in autopilot. However, I think you can always be working smarter and just cleaning up your efforts.
Absolutely.
So one quote that I had written down was, be proud of how hard you are trying.
Oh, that's good.
Because those are the nights that I sleep better.
Right.
When I know that I did what I was supposed to that day, I can sleep good.
Yes.
When I know I didn't, and there were things that I wasn't very productive on and very efficient on, those are the nights that I lose sleep and
Okay.
I'm like anxious.
Right.
And that's not a good mindset to be
No.
in.
You wake up the next day and drive across the bridge.
Yeah.
No.
That bridge driving probably happens only 2 or 3 times a year.
Okay. So when things compound
Yes.
and your mindset's way off.
Right.
Okay. But I like it. It's a way to get back there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I had a couple of other ones. If you are always trying to be normal, you will never know how amazing you can be.
Oh, that's good.
Isn't that good?
Yeah.
So don't march someone else's, what do they say? Give me to the beat of someone else's drum.
Right. Don't march to the beat of someone else's drum
Right.
when you're your own person.
Yeah, if you lean into who you are, you'll find more success.
Right.
Or at least that's what I
And I
found.
think that's where all this mindset frustration comes in, is that you go back to comparison, you're looking what other people are doing,
Yep.
you're saying, I should be doing that, but I'm not naturally good at that. I'm naturally good at this.
Right.
And if you try to force something that isn't there, it just leads to frustration and mindset meltdown.
Probably the biggest part is figuring out who you are.
Right.
And being confused about who that is and what you are good at, and it's something you're probably not going to get in a personality test.
Yes. And you never arrive.
No!
You're always evolving. Your business is evolving. I know I'm like at a point where in my business, I'm really wanting to like totally revamp all my systems, everything.
Yeah.
Just to upgrade from where I started.
Sure.
Because of the volume. And that's daunting.
Yes. Because it's hard to find time for that.
Yeah.
It's overwhelming.
It is.
And then it messes with your mind.
It does.
And then you just say, forget it.
Forget it, I'm not doing anything.
I'm not going to do that right now. It's too hard.
Which leads me to my next quote.
Oh, let's hear it.
It's a slow process, but quitting won't speed it up.
Well, that's true.
Very true.
So many good quotes about success and quitting and
Not quitting.
patience. I mean, that's really patience.
Right.
But I think that is part of the problem when you're new, old, wanting to move your business. It's you have to be patient. You have to put the system in place and give it time to actually work. So you can't just try it for a month and then give it up.
Right.
You gotta really.
I think
Give
one
it
of
some
my
time.
so I have always had success with open houses.
Okay.
I get clients from it. It helps me form relationships. Where else are you going to be where a potential buyer walks in and sees you face to face?
Right.
So I have had success with them. I like them. It annoys me when people say, well, I did, 2 open houses and nothing happened.
Right. How often do you do them? Or did you do them in the beginning?
In the beginning, it was every Sunday.
Yeah.
Now it's almost every Sunday.
Yeah.
I use it as a time to reset my mindset.
Right.
Because if I always bring things to do to an open house. So my computer is with me, or a book or whatever I have at that time. If I need to handwrite letters, they come with me. So that way I have 2 hours to just reset, prepare for the week. If nobody comes, I was very productive.
Yep.
If people come, I got to meet people between being productive.
Right.
So it just works out. And then after the open house, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to conquer the week. I'm organized.
Yeah.
And it's good to go.
I also think that open houses are sort of no pressure ways to practice talking to people.
Oh, for sure.
Because they're going to come and they're going to go, and they might be neighbors and they might be buyers, but it's really no harm, no foul if you don't make that connection with every single person that comes into your open house.
I remember my first open house. I had memorized the living area and the bedrooms and all the basics.
Right.
And then someone walks in and goes, how old's the roof? And I was like, crap. I don't know that one.
I have no idea.
So open house number 2, I know the roof, I know all of that. And they're like, is this a flood zone? I'm like, crap, I don't know that. By open house number 5, I had all the answers.
And they didn't ask anything.
They didn't ask anything. Exactly.
Like, I knew it all. I was ready. But being prepared will set your mind right too. Because that's going to help your confidence.
Oh, for sure.
Every time that you learn another thing you knew, I'm not going to look dumb when they ask me for the roof age. I know it. I'm prepared.
And then I just mastered I'll look into that and get back to you.
Yes.
It's okay not to know everything.
I don't know. I can find out.
But I had to master that. Like, it took practice.
Oh, my favorite is I can find out.
I can find out.
I can find out. Let me find out for you.
I like it.
And then it looks like you're doing something.
Yeah.
Well, because you are. You got to find out.
Right.
All right, what else do I have? Oh, this is one of my favorites. This one's Abraham Lincoln. And this one really does play into this in a big way, and it really is important to me, and I go back to it and I refer to it. You are as happy as you make up your mind to be.
That's good.
I know.
To go with that one, I have whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right.
You're right.
Those two go hand in hand.
Right. So if you have someone in your life that's giving you positive feedback and positive messages, call them, text them, go see them, take them to coffee. Mm-hmm. Whoever's your biggest cheerleader, that should be your number 1 coffee, if you're especially in a mindset funk.
And speaking of cheerleaders, I just sat at my mastermind,
Oh, yeah.
We had, the topic this month was on open houses.
Okay.
And we had Laura Buck-Smith with Team Smith come and talk about open houses because they host several a weekend. And she was saying how it's all about mindset.
Okay.
And how, and there's a new agent in my office that I was like, she needs to come because she's been doing open houses, and you can only coach so much.
Right.
And so I made her come too. And the biggest thing that Laura talked about was going into it with the right mindset.
Right.
People are going to sign the sheet.
Yeah.
People do like me.
Yeah.
I like it.
I like people.
Whereas the average new agent goes into it being like, oh, nobody wants to sign this sheet. No.
Nobody's going to show up.
And nobody's going to come. Well, if nobody comes, are you going to be prepared to be productive?
Right.
Like, are you
that's a mindset thing right there.
It is.
Being prepared to be productive.
Right.
Yeah.
And the new agent even said, sometimes when they're signing the sheet and I see them kind of hesitate at the email, I just jump in and say, oh, you don't have to do that part. And it's like, no.
Just let them do it.
Let them be confident.
Yes.
And
it's like discounting your commission before they even ask.
And that's a mindset thing, because as a new agent, she is scared to even ask.
Right.
For it.
For the email.
Yes.
Yeah. It's tough. That is totally a mindset thing.
So it was just interesting that
one of my favorite ones, affirmations for mindset, because sometimes I don't like to call. I mean, even my past clients, sometimes I feel nervous about making the call. And then you just have to say, people want to hear from me.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not calling to deliver bad news.
Right.
Just say, hi, how's it going?
Mm-hmm.
What's up?
People want to hear from me.
People want to hear from me.
That's good.
Yeah. It's very simple.
Mm-hmm.
Fixing your mindset can be pretty simple. Like, affirmations don't have to be long or complicated. And I showed you earlier, I have a whole sheet of them. Like, whenever I'm feeling in a funk or I've had some sort of limiting belief, I try to get a good affirmation that would help me out of that. And I did that whenever I was doing the vision board early on.
So do you just read them? Do you memorize them? Do you say them in the mirror?
I don't do them in the mirror, although they do say that's good. I don't know. I guess I just feel weird. But I say them over and over again in my mind.
That's good.
All the time. My default blank space, like if I have several that I repeat daily, hourly.
See, I probably need to implement something like that.
If you've got something that's really a thorn in your side, like something you're really trying to get away from. I mean, competition has been like a big focus for me this year and trying to get out of that comparison and competition. So I have a few that I try to say.
Yeah.
To get me there where I'm not feeling it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it just goes to show that you have to take ownership of what you're thinking.
Yep.
And hold yourself accountable for it.
Mm-hmm.
And not make excuses about it.
Yep.
And not have lunch with friends that just amplify it and you have this big pity party and then next thing you know, it's just way blown out of proportion.
Right.
You actually need to have accountability for yourself and have a plan in place to overcome your mindset.
Yep. Gary Vee's always saying to remove the negative people and add in a positive person. So like subtract or just lessen. What if it's your mom? Like, what if the person who's negative is someone you can't get rid of? Just lessen that contact, but add in someone who's got constant positive messages.
Yeah.
I think that's an easy thing to do.
It is.
You have any more?
I do. I think the last one is the one that I have founded my business on.
Ooh, let's hear it.
You earn more business in 2 months by becoming interested in other people than you will in 2 years trying to get other people interested in you.
Oh, yes.
I think that goes back to when I was a new agent and my broker said the number one thing she wanted me to do first was to find 2 groups to join.
Okay.
That can be a volunteer group, a church group, your kid's school, something that you're just involved in that you genuinely like to do that's life-giving.
Okay.
Because then it doesn't feel like work.